Now y'all want to see something I did. Now you think about it. I go and break a knife that someone gave me. And sent it to me. It was Apache. Perfect knife and all, but I broke it. It took me only about 6-7 hours to figure out how I could fix it and everything. There wasn't no way. I mean, he really fucked that knife up. Put it in a tree, and I was just using it as a step. And that sucker went pop, just snapped like a toothpick. And I'm going like a cheap piece of metal. And then I had to figure out how to get it apart. And then I just took that part, kept it. And then I went and got some of my tools out of a toolbox. And this is, you know, industrial, super powerful steel, which is actually, some people call it D2. Then I go in and get me some titanium. And I got it. And I got me some little bit of rebar. And I also used a little bit, you can say I had like 20 different kinds of steel. And I want to see if I could do it. See if I added something to it. Something like this. You see what color that is? You know, you have to think that's what they call pure gold. Melted it all in this shit. I already had the blade made, you know. I marked it, figured out how much I needed to make it, but instead I ended up making 2 knives. Then I went and got me some sheaths and did the same thing. And what got me is that nobody was paying attention to what I was doing. Well, I was letting this shit get so hot that I could pour it like water into a mold, because impact mold is what I'm used to. And I put it in this one mold, and I used supersized C-clamps. And I actually had, me and my friends kept doing, then we used the sledgehammer and all that, get that darn steel in there, in that mold, and pour it in that mold after I had it locked in place. So it's a lot damn tighter, but it's also made out of wood. And I had it smoothed out so it'd make a great mold. Put me a little bit of sheet metal in it too. Didn't know it was going to melt the sheet metal with all the other stuff that was already melted. So you got like, I'm going to say 62 different kinds of steel, 62 different kinds, and gold, and meteor, some kind of metal that come out. It's a meteor rock, about 2 of them, about that big around. Melted it all in this one thing, which ended up making 2 knives instead of 1. My friends went out there and they wasn't paying attention. I was going, well, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, and I'm going to make me a bone handle. Now, this is what I'm sending my daddy, what I call General Douglas, my closest friend. He's a lot older than me. Matter of fact, he's the same age as my wife. He's a black man. I call him Daddy a lot, but he is my closest friend. Lives in Alaska. I think he's going to like it. And we're gonna test a little bit in a minute. That's his. This is oak, which I put some cherry stain on it. You see how big that handle is? You see I used a regular old screw, lock it in. See how big that handle is? I hit you with that fast, bigger than my fist if you think about it. Handle off a bull, meat cow. But it's a bull stud, what I like looking at it. But the blade is the exact same as the Cherokees. The whole thing is all, I would call mine a Damascus gold. It's a gold Damascus steel is what I would call it. Pure gold in this. And all that thing I did was that right there. See what I'm talking about? Ain't that so pretty? That's what I'm giving my daddy in Alaska. My closest friend gets this knife. You see, and you can sit there. They ain't no trademarks whatsoever on this damn knife. So you know I actually did make it. I don't put trademarks on my knives. You see what I'm saying? But this is from a stud bull. See what I'm saying? And that would be exact as the Cherokee would say, or we go back in time, the Apache Indian. This is the way the blades would look like. It'd be cheaper steel, but they could actually cut your head off. We're gonna test this in real quick. It ain't doing too good, is it? I think it's doing pretty good. Let's do it again so to show you. See how easy this blade is? Don't forget I made 2 of these. And I did this sheath. See how I did it? Slap it in there like that. And you see how I did the double. That's the way you're supposed to do your sheaths. Hey native, you need to check that out. See, all this come from Hobby Lobbies. Or what's called a hobby store. But don't forget, this is real bone wood and my gold Damascus steel that I made. And you seen how sharp it was. That's his. Now mine, you look at the handle, see? That's the second one. Same thing. See? There ain't no kind of trademarks, no nothing. I showed you how I did it. It's called gold Damascus steel. Pure gold. Good. And see, this is smaller. You look at that and you look at mine. You see that? We can put them together. You see what I'm saying? We go it this way. This is way bigger. I'm turning it right because this part right here is bigger. You look at that. If you go this way, it's the same thing. It's way bigger. You see? We're going to check this in there. See that? That's a sharp damn knife. And you know, when I sharpen a fucking knife, you're gonna get cut. This will be something I gut you with. But he's gonna use his for hunting up there, because he knows this shit, when I make something, it's gonna work. If I decide to make something, they all work. The best thing about it is that you gotta use olive oil, mineral oil on your knives, or they're gonna get rusty. This ain't worried too much. And the way I sharpened it was this. I did 20 strokes on each side with this. At a precisely, or mine, if I'm correct, is a 25 for, I won't say 25 for hunting knives, and a 20 for kitchen knives. Another knife that I picked up that even native and backwoods would say is a good knife. Check this out. You see how this is. You see this part here. You see this handle. This is the side of your pocket. And you know that's what you push to get it up. Check this one out. See the difference? Blades over here on this side. So if I did it like that, you see the difference? This goes this way in your pocket. This one, you got your blade already. This one has a ferrule rod. And a whistle on it, can opener, bottle opener. I got a pretty good knife. Now you see what I'm sending my daddy. I'm sending my daddy this. Now you know what an Apache knife looks like. Now you know my knife is going to be a smaller one. Maybe I'm the brat. But I also can show you an Apache knife. Most guys don't see it. The Apache knife also was in a movie called The Patriot. You see, there ain't no trademarks on this and neither. And that's what a Apache knife looks like. This is a Cherokee knife. The Cherokee and Lumbee in the Revolutionary Wars, this is what they would be carrying. And the Scottish, the Irish, and Germans in the Revolutionary War. See the darn difference? We're going to check to see how sharp it is. It ain't even sharp, is it? See? But if I go like that, see what I'm saying? It is sharp. But see, what I do is been cutting on this paper so long it ain't doing what it should do. See what I'm saying? It's sharp also. And this is what they call the Cherokee knife, or a Lumbee Indian knife. See, that's a nice knife. And this is actually made out of D2. Same thing I made the other knives with, them sockets and them damn ranchets and pry bars is in this knife. And ain't no other kind of knives I'll be making.